studied to be a priest for around 5 years. Then I left uh, and I completed my graduation and post-graduation in management. And subsequently, I worked in industry for 32 years. Within industry, there was another major turning point where I switched career paths. So my major in my MBA was marketing, but I felt that that was not my real calling. So I shifted into training and development. So, and how this came about also is a unique experience because without sharing it with anybody except my wife, and with a deep intention that I want to be a trainer, suddenly, from out of the blue, a call came to me from one of the large media houses with whom I had worked previously for a few months, saying, "Will you come back?" So I thought they were calling me back into marketing. They said, "No, we are calling you to set up the training and market research function." So, it reinstated my belief that, if you're true to your calling, then somehow the other it will manifest itself and be supported for realizing itself. Subsequent to my career in industry, I entered the education space where I launched management institutions. I have taught in communication institutions, been a trainer, and conducted various workshops. And ultimately, after 10 years in the education space, I decided to be a blogger because I wanted to just write and share, share all that I've gone through, all my experiences. And I was doing this not with the intention of commercializing. It was an intention of something which I want to share, which gives me joy. Okay. So I think my blog details have been shared with you. And then I compiled all my blogs into a book. And I launched my book on my 40th wedding anniversary, dedicating my book to my wife, you know. So now the book is there. I think you all have got the details of the book as well as my blogging, site. Okay. So this in brief is me, the question, which I would like to pose to everybody is why would you need to blog? I mean, why blog? Anybody can answer. Why blog? What is the necessity of blogging and why is there an emphasis on blogging?
Hello.
Yes, Eric. Yes, Eric.
Yes, I think blogging comes with a different ways. When you blog, sometimes we blog to share what we can't share with our friends from different worlds, so that we can share that one on a platform where it can reach many people. Sometimes I do blog to release myself from something which I've been holding so much.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good, Eric. Very good.
So,
Ray, go ahead. Ray, go ahead.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I think maybe
Is this better?
Yeah, it is better. Now it is better.
By blogging, Sir Conrad, it's also me actually writing a few Facebook posts in public. It's because I'm really deeply disturbed about certain issues, and it's like unless it's out there, it's all toxic positivity. So I just, it's my little voice of like, sharing what I thought to be thinking about. Thank you.
Okay, so it's giving voice to, whatever you are pondering, you're reflecting on, right? Okay, anybody else? Yes, how?
Yes, I think blocking would be a good space to have a collections of the insight, and at the same time to exchange and dialogues on that particular like conversations and insight on it. Yeah.
Right. So exchange and dialoguing, and it's
Yes.
a collection of your insights. Very good. Very good. Anybody else?
For me, that I maybe that is like expressing our thoughts in another way, because that sometimes that we just whatever we think just inside our mind.
Yeah.
So it could be like a way to express ourselves, and something that we can read back and to refer back after that.
Right. How many of you are blogging?
Started after encouraged by Dr. Nat.
Okay. Okay. I think all of you all have got the idea. Let me start off by sharing with you. I've prepared a small presentation, and I will take you through. And you all have all mentioned it. I mean, it's a personal sharing, but there are some things which you would reserve to yourself. It's like giving you your voice to various issues. It's like thoughts in your head which you want to come out. It's like dialoguing and exchange. So you all have got the key elements. So just let me share what I have prepared, and then we will go through it in a very systematic manner. Okay. What I would like to share with you just now is understanding yourself through blogging, which is the title which I have given to this particular sharing. Now, as you very rightly said, one could use it for documenting. One could use it for sharing. One could use it for clarifying for yourself. One could use it to discover yourself. Now, let me explain a few things to you. I mean, I would like to dwell on this, which is something which I think each one of us needs to realize very deeply, very deeply. See, each one of us is unique, each one of us. And therefore, if you think through it, there has been nobody like you before, and there will be nobody like you after. So you occupy a unique position in the life of the human race, and you have a unique purpose. So therefore, if you are unique, then you have a unique way of seeing life. You have a unique experience of life. You have a unique way of coping with life. Now, all this needs to be shared. Deep down, we inherently belong to the human race. And therefore, we are inherently born with that quality of sharing, So therefore, it comes from an innate quality, where we want to share what we experience, our unique way of seeing life, etc. So we share to enrich. The other point which I want to elaborate here is, see, whenever we experience something, we find it very difficult to explain that experience. Like suppose, for instance, I were to ask you, can you share when you were depressed? The experience of depression. Or can you share when you were very joyful and happy? It's very difficult to tangibilize that experience in terms of words. That means make it concrete in terms of words. It's very difficult. So therefore, what does one do? In order to clarify for oneself, one writes. Now I have been educated in an age where the alphabet was looked up to. You have been educated in an age where the digit has been, looked up to. So it's the alphabet which has transformed into the digit, zeros and ones instead of A to Z. Having said that, when one expresses, whether it is, in the digital world, you express it or you write it down, what you're actually doing is you are clarifying for yourself your experience. You are clarifying for yourself your perspective and point of view. You are clarifying for yourself the chaos you are experiencing. See, suppose for instance, I am in conflict with a person. Whatever be the reason for the conflict, whatever it may be, when we are in conflict, we are in chaos. And we really do not know what is happening to us. But if we step back and write down all that we are going through, what we are doing is putting a structure to this experience, and therefore, thereby understanding this experience. Am I clear? Am I clear? Hello? Is it clear so far?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, Conrad.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
So therefore, you are blogging to document, to share, to clarify yourself, to discover yourself. There was, there is something which I used to use very frequently, and it is called stream of consciousness. I don't know if you have heard of the term. Stream of consciousness means that whatever is in your mind, whatever you are feeling, you are putting it down, whether you are typing it, in terms of a document, or you're writing it in terms of a document. You're not bringing your mind to bear in terms of thinking, or in analyzing, or evaluating, or judging. No, you're just writing. Whatever is coming to your mind, you're writing. It would be, pertaining to ideas. It could pertain to feelings. It could pertain to concerns, but you're just writing. Then what happens is you have given vent to a stream of consciousness within yourself. It's streaming. It's not broken up. Now, once you have finished that exercise, now you go back to what you have written. And when you go back to what you have written, now you can bring your mind to bear. And you will have tremendous insights. You will get tremendous insights about yourself in terms of discovery of various aspects of yourself. Is this clear? Is this clear? So therefore, you treat your blog as a journal of your life's journey. So you're treating your blog as a journal of your life's journey. And I will explain this more and more. Now, some of the entries you would like to share, while others you may not, because they are too personal. Now, when you have already written it down, it has served the purpose for you in terms of clarifying, discovering, etc. Now you take a judgment call. You'll say, okay, fine, this I would like to share, this I would not like to share. That is perfectly okay. Okay, so therefore, I'll go to the next one. So therefore, suppose I am blogging. What are the different types of topics or things which I can blog on? What are the various things? So now I am giving you my own experience, which I would like to share. You can blog on an experience. Like, for instance, we had a family servant, her name was Sundarbai. Now, I thought that I would write an article or write a blog on servant leadership. Servant leadership, all of you must be aware of the concept, like if you really want to be an effective leader, you first need to have the attitude of serving, of being a servant. This is, a concept, servant leadership, which has come about through Robert Greenleaf. Robert Greenleaf. He has, created this concept of servant leadership. So I thought that this is a very nice topic. But then I realized nobody is interested in concepts. Then it becomes a very kind of, classroom type of sharing. So then I said, how can I look at servant leadership through the experience which I've had with our servant or our maid who lived with us for 54 years. So we were three brothers. She literally brought us up because both my parents were working, and the entire house was entrusted to her. Whenever we were young, we were entrusted to her care. Whenever we were sick, she would go out of her way to show that she had unlimited liability, unlimited responsibility for all of us. She was always very attentive to our needs. Even before we could say what we wanted, she had it there. So I explained my experience of my servant Sundarbai in the context of servant leadership. And the family portrait which we have in our living room, where we got photographs of all when we were young, and my parents and our families just now. Sundarbai occupies the central place. She's there right in the heart of the collage. So in other words, it means I am explaining a concept through a very, very personal experience. And this article got tremendous amount of appreciation and traction. Many people stated how it touched them so very much. Another thing is, what you could share is a skill. All of us have different skills in cooking, skills in repairing, skills in coding, skills in creating videos. So each one of us has a skill. Now, after I finished compiling and then created my first book, I wrote a blog on how did I write my first book. So, I took the reader through my entire journey. And I ended it by saying that at 70, that means that's my age. At 70, I have become an author, and I have tried to become an author much earlier. But I realized I did not have depth. I was still very superficial. Also, I lacked a complete perspective of life. So then I took them through that whole journey of how I went on reading, which I will share with you. So therefore, I also attempted my hand at poetry when I was in college, but I realized it took me nowhere. But now, when I was writing this blog, I wrote poetry. I wrote poems, which were highly appreciated. So what I was trying to get at is, I took them through the actual process which I had experienced to write a book, which is a skill, and this was also highly appreciated. See, I realized when you come from very deep personal experiences, it touches the human heart, because then people say, yes, we resonate with that. We can also blog on perspectives, like you have shared, issues, what you think of them, So I really deep down feel very much today that we are going more towards science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, which is called STEM. Students are being, kind of encouraged to get into fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And this is gradually destroying the world. Whereas biology, which is, understanding the flora, fauna, understanding nature, which is where we come from, where we are one, is not being given as much importance. So what we are doing is we are achieving progress, which is STEM, but we are not experiencing true growth as human beings, growth in terms of consciousness. So this is a perspective. Then you can even blog in terms of insights. So in insights, I got an insight in terms of all our lives, if you realize, they revolve around three words. When I ask this question, what are the three words our lives revolve around? So there will be the regular answers. I love you. That will be one answer. The second answer will be I, me, myself. But hardly anybody will come up with more, better, different. And if we look at how we live our lives, if we have, say, 3 pairs of shoes, we want 6 pairs of shoes. Or if you say that I have got a 1-bedroom apartment, they will say you want a 2-bedroom apartment. But if you got an apartment, you want something different. You want a bungalow. If you have, and you want an air conditioner. If you have a scooter, you want a car. So right through life, we are going on wanting more, better, and different. So that is the insight. Then you have a concern. You can blog even on concerns. Each one of us got so many concerns. So now, the way we see life, the way we see nature. Now, suppose we don't change the way we see. Like suppose we saw nature as being different from us, as being separate from us. And then we said, we can do to nature whatever we want. It will not harm us. That is the way we have seen nature. And today, gradually, we are shifting how we see nature. We are now realizing that the harm which we have caused to nature is harming us. So therefore, now we are seeing us as being one with nature. Or you can blog as an idea, any ideas you have. Like for me, just now, Adam Smith, he wrote Capitalism, but he also wrote a book on the theory of moral sentiment. And he realized that if I, encourage only selfishness or self-centeredness, which is the heart of capitalism, if it is carried to an extreme, it can create anarchy, chaos. So it has to be balanced by values which emerge from, religion, education, and the family. But today, all three have collapsed. So then the idea is organizations need to become schools for life. Or you can blog in terms of knowledge about. So communication as coordinated behavior, rather than just sending a message, receiving a message, etc. So what I've tried to do is I've given you a variety of all that you can blog on, and also given you examples from my own personal experience. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, Sir Conrad, it's clear.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next point would like to share with you, which is very important, is that whatever you want to document or share, it needs to be seen as emerging. Now, it emerges from what kind of sources? It emerges from your reading. See, if you want to write, please read. You need to read a lot. Otherwise, after some time, you will dry up. You will not have any ideas. It will be the same old thing. So, reading. The second thing is your experience. A lot of us have got various experiences. Your observation. So you observe people, observe nature, observe life, observe trends, and your reflection on all of this. You reflect, you're continuously reflecting. So you're continuously reading, continuously experiencing, continuously observing, continuously reflecting, And then what happens is when you use this as the source of your blogging, it becomes very rich and authentic, true. It becomes your unique contribution. So for instance, for me, what has driven me right through is this whole aspect of seeing, how we see life. It is very, very important, very critical. Okay. Now I want you to do something. Now I'll take a break, but I want you to do something. Okay. Now what I want you to do is, suppose you want to begin the journey of blogging. You want to begin. What I am suggesting is choose any one of these. So I achieved, I won, I completed, I created, I increased, I wrote, I introduced, I solved, I recommended, I coordinated, I provided, I trained. So what I'm giving you is clues for you to think about your experience, your achievement, or your failures and how you overcame them, your thoughts, ideas, your concerns. I'm giving you clues. So just complete the sentences and see how you do it. Can we begin? Is the exercise clear?
Sir Conrad, are we just going to go for
Hello, Ray? Ray? No, I lost you, Ray. I lost you.
Wait, are we going to go for just one only, or how many we wish? However many we wish.
You can do as many as you wish. You can do as many as you wish. Don't, if you want to go more than one, or you want to create something beyond 12, you want to create something your own, of your own. No problem, absolutely no problem. Just 1 or 2 lines I want you to develop so that you get the feel, you get the feel.
Can you hear me all?
Yes, Ray, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I could just paste it at the same time, read it here, there. I created or create spaces of vulnerability haphazardly, but gratefully it has brought me meaning through healing. So I wrote 2. So just this. So the last one would be this one. Wait. Over being present with loved ones. I'll take on the doldrums over the rush. There. Those are mine. Thank you. Oh, Sir Conrad, you're on mute. Wait, I'll ask to unmute you.
Conrad, sir,
There.
can you mute yourself? Can you unmute yourself, please?
Yeah. Sorry, Ray, I liked what you wrote. I created spaces of meaning. I increased, my love, my presence for those whom I care for. Very nice, very good, excellent. Now you can develop it further. Ray, you can develop. I get a sense, Ray, that you can try poetry. Ray, you can try poetry. I can get, you can develop yourself. Develop yourself because you've got that perspective. Anybody else?
Thank you, Sir Conrad. But that's scary. Poetry is scary for me.
Okay.
Try.
Later. Anybody else?
I can go. Hi, morning.
Yeah,
So,
Mani.
is it okay if I use another verb, Sir Conrad?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No problem.
So my sentences are the following. I said, this was my realization last Wednesday. So I made a commitment to myself that I will live and thrive through life as a feminist. I just discovered that my family name is actually that of my grandmother's, and I would like to honor her.
Excellent.
By that kind of life.
Excellent. See, now what you're doing is you are creating germs, the germination of an idea, the germination of something which can grow into something very big. And I liked what you all have done. So may I carry on because of time limits? Otherwise, I would have loved to hear everybody. But because of the time limit, may I carry on? Is it okay? Hello, is it okay? Okay, fine. So therefore, as I mentioned, you can blog on positive experiences. You could also blog on negative experiences. For instance, how I failed in my interview and what did I learn from it, And there are many people who have actually learned through appearing for interviews what they did wrong and what they need to do right. Basically, it is a quest for who am I? And we are all searching for that I. It's a very deep search. It's a search for meaning. Okay. And this is the process, So we are sharing that process. Now let me go to the next one. Yeah. Now, how to improve your writing? So you have begun writing. Now you need to improve your writing. Now, if you have to improve your writing, this is coming from my own experience. Sometimes you need to read, as I mentioned, if you have to write, you read. Read as many books as possible in different areas. Now, and also challenge yourself in terms of reading a book which goes much beyond your comfort zone, something which you don't really know anything about, but it challenges you. So what you are doing is you are challenging yourself and enriching yourself out of your comfort zone. So you are creating a new perspective. You're not reading only something which you like, and therefore developing a very linear perspective of life. You're developing a holistic perspective if you go on challenging yourself to bring in material from different areas. Now, I read this book, I remember Quantum Self by Dana Zohar. I read it around 5 times to really get a true understanding of that, of the book, what she was trying to say, because it dealt with quantum physics as applied to the human self, So it was very challenging, but I went on reading it. So this is what I am sharing with you. So don't rest satisfied by reading a book and saying, fine, I've understood the book. No. If it is a really good book, important book, you feel that it has a lot of importance for you, go on reading it. Then write down your understanding of the essence of the book. What do you feel is the essence? And here, my experience has been when I write with a pencil or a pen. Now, I am a man brought up on the alphabet. I am not a man brought up on the digit, But I realized that when I use the pencil or a pen, my mind connects with my hand. And I tend to remember, I tend to reflect. And there is where the insight happens, So when you're writing, you are actually deliberating in terms of what you are writing. And there is a connection between the mind and the hand. Because you're involved, it's an inherent biological connection. So, but you are familiar with typing out on a keyboard. So, I mean, you go ahead. I'm just sharing with you what I have experienced. Then what you do is you read what you have written. Of the same book, the essence. Can it be made shorter? Can it be made simpler? In order to get to the core essence. Now, this requires a lot of writing and rewriting. Now, this is in preparation. It's in preparation to discipline yourself into blogging. Because blogging needs a discipline. You can't free flow. If the reader has to be engaged on a continuous basis, you cannot go on the basis of stream of consciousness. No. The reader has to be engaged precisely, succinctly. Okay. So this is how to improve your writing. Is this clear? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So next is what I have mentioned is try and read different books. Different. Now, I'll tell you my background. I went into business. So my real serious reading began with business books. And it not only began with business books, but it began with books in marketing, because that was my major in terms of my MBA. So I used to devour books on marketing and business. And then gradually, I started getting disillusioned with marketing as a function and disillusioned with business. That is when I started searching for the soul of business and the soul of life. There are two, which are ultimately the soul of, one soul. But it is the soul of business, the soul of life. So then I went into different areas of philosophy, of science, of, literature, of different philosophies. And I kept on reading, kept on reading. And whenever I felt the book was important to me, I did what I shared with you previously in terms of trying to understand the essence of the book. So then what I used to do is, after I've read all these books in different areas, I used to see how I can relate these different books in terms of their essences. And this is where you look at the connections and you gain insights. And then gradually I realized that biology, that is life, and quantum physics have got a lot in common. So in terms of, the basis of quantum physics is uncertainty. So you have a particle of light. When you look at light, some say it is a particle, some say it is a wave. But actually it is a particle and a wave. So then when you're looking at life, you're not looking at yourself in terms of a mind and a body. The mind and body is one. So similarly, light is both particle and a wave. So you're looking at connections and you see the connections glaringly, but this needs reflection, continuous reflection. Okay. And that is when you grow, because you're challenging yourself. The next thing is in terms of improving your writing. See, write as if you are having a conversation with your reader, expressing your point of view. It's a conversation. So don't try to be intellectual. Don't try to preach. The common word for preaching will be should. You should do this, you should do that. No shoulds. And you identify with your reader in terms of saying we. It's not, you and I, but it is we. So, you are identifying. Now, will your reader understand what you have written? And will it hold your reader's interest? Now, this is where you need to play a dual role. When you're writing, you're immersed in your writing, you're one with your writing, and that is when your whole being flows into your writing. You're expressing your total being, whether it is an experience or it is a perspective or a point of view, whatever it is, but your whole being is expressing it. But once you have written, now you have to play the role of a critic. Now this is very difficult, because now you become a critic of your own writing. Now to become a critic of your own writing, you have to place yourself in the position of a reader. And you have to imagine, and what will help you is read what you have written loudly. Read it loudly. When you read it loudly, you can read it in your mind, but you can verbalize it softly, or you can read it aloud. You will immediately sense the reader will not understand this. I need to clarify it. The reader will get lost here. I have lost the reader's attention here. Immediately you will get it. Okay. So there are two things. One is immerse yourself, let it flow from your being, become a critic. Read out what you have written loudly. And then you will sense whether you're engaging your reader's interest and whether the reader understands. Do not try to impress her by being very intellectual or being in with the crowd or, no. You have to be true to yourself. Be really true to yourself. Don't try to impress or be intellectual, etc. Don't use jargon like interoperability. Interoperability is a big word, but what does it mean? The ability to share data. That's all, nothing else, So, but you say operable. So it is not necessary. Write in simple language. Even a school student should be able to understand. Write in simple language. Now, sometimes the content of what you are writing may require a little bit of jargon because of the nature of the subject. So long as you explain that clearly, there is no problem. But you need to realize what the reader will not understand, and therefore you need to explain it. So don't use words like headwinds. It's very in. But what is headwinds? Just challenges or constraints. That's all. Simple language, in very simple terms. Okay. So then use short sentences. Nobody likes reading long winded sentences. You get lost trying to find the meaning. Use short sentences, 6 words, 7 words, that's it. Okay. Sometimes even 3 words. Don't go on, with conjunctions and or notwithstanding, whether, all that is, no, it goes into a loop and then you get lost. Okay. Then this I shared with you. Keep reading what you have written as if you are a reader, and then play a dual role. The other thing is, let someone who you respect read it and listen to his or her criticism. All my blogs, all without exception, were read by my daughter, and she used to read them. I used to deliberately say, "Now you read," and she used to critique them. Now she is around, say, 35, but she used to critique in a very, very straightforward manner. She is very much into the digital world. She's a director in terms of in the company for product management. You have product management in a technology firm, so you have product manager, senior product manager. She's a director, but she is very well versed with the culture of the digital world. So I used to make her read and criticize, and I used to listen with respect. So I used to not say, "Okay, stand," etc., etc. No. I used to listen with all respect, and then I used to make changes. And believe me, most of the time she has been right. She has been right. So you have to give what you have written to somebody whom you respect to read it and criticize. Yeah. Now here, once you have written something, suppose you have written something. Now, when you have written something, besides reading it as a critic, besides giving it to someone else to read it and listening to them, you need to allow it to be within yourself. If it has come out of your being, now you live with it. So I used to live with my piece for 2, 3, 4 days, thinking about it, experiencing it, feeling it, understanding it, understanding what my readers will get out of it, just being with it. Automatically, I'm telling you, automatically, thoughts will pop up, insights will pop up, saying, "I have not done this. I need to include this. I have forgotten this." Now you need time for that to come up within you. So never look at the piece which you have written as being complete. No, there's a lot of process work which needs to be done. Okay. The next is always try and get a catchy beginning and a memorable end. The beginning gets the reader to begin reading, and the end leaves a good impression by summarizing what you wanted to communicate. Okay, and the reader remembers it. Now, I'm going to share with you different ways of beginning. I'm also going to share with you a structure which you could follow. Do not write for more than 2 to 5 minute reads. So today the person doesn't have time. You need to respect that. Okay, respect the person's time. Do not write for a person's time to spend on it being more than 2 to 5 minutes. Okay. So now regarding the catchy beginning and the format of writing a blog. Okay. Now, I'll give you some beginnings of my own articles, my own blogs. So, I am the cause of all that I experience. Now, I titled my piece on that. Now, this hits at the person. The person says, how can you say I am the cause of all that I experience? So suppose I am caught in a traffic jam. I have not caused the traffic jam. So then you go into the understanding of how you respond to the situation is very well within your control. And therefore, how you respond makes you either a victim or a creator. So I am the cause of all that I experience. Then this is something which is very close to me. We live in different spheres of life, all of which are fake. So now, many people have taken me on this, So they show surprise. They're saying, all of us are fake. I said, yes, all of us are fake. Now then you read the article, then what I say is, try and understand what one is communicating. So then I'll show you the format, So the beginning is a catchy beginning, but it needs to be substantiated in a very, very logical and solid manner. So all of which are fake. You can read my blog on it, but just to give you a feel, our governance is fake, our education is fake, our economy is fake, etc., etc. And then you can read how I've dealt with each one of them. The next one, a beginning. We have taken a wrong turn. We are accelerating away from nature rather than towards it. So that means the whole human race has suddenly turned away from nature. It's taken a wrong turn. I shared with you about STEM. We are witnessing the world becoming hard. Hard versus soft. So life is vulnerable, life is soft, and we are becoming hard. Then life is rhythm. Then the failure of success. This is another opening which gets people going. What are you talking about, failure of success? Then I explain, that success is usually progress, and now progress carried to a limit, you are looking at its failure, because you have never really given importance to growth, and growth is from within, progress is from without, so failure of success. So point of view, point of being, all that is there. I'm just giving you a feel of the catchy beginning. Then we need to listen to understand, then listen to see, and listen to alleviate suffering. So when people say listen to see, that catches the person. How can you talk about listening to see? And then you refer to the Chinese understanding of seeing, of hearing. It involves all the senses. Then what we pay attention to and what we do not pay attention to influences how we navigate through life. So are you getting an understanding or a feel of, thinking of a catchy beginning, but then once you've got the catchy beginning, you have to sustain the person. Otherwise, the person will lose interest. Okay. Then I'll give you the format in which, you can write. But before I go into the format, are there any questions so far? Any questions? Yes, Nirmal?
What I'm trying to do is, if there is any questions, I would like to ask our fellows also on these. Any questions or any concerns or anything that they would like to reflect on it also, no? Please.
Yeah, just a reflection on my experience writing. For me, I find it very hard to express things in short when I write. So I think as of the last 3 weeks, this is one issue I think that is that I have to sharpen. Yes, that is to become a more effective communicator in my writing.
Very good.
And I noticed this happening more in my writing rather than speaking.
Yeah.
Is there a reason for this, sir?
No, see, some people are very precise when they speak. Some people find it difficult to express themselves in writing. Don't worry too much about that. What I would like to congratulate you is that you have become aware. You have become aware that, this is an area which I need to improve upon, which is very good. And I'm sure you will do it. You will do it. Yeah. Anybody else? I'm sorry, I did not get your name. There's no name below. I can't see it. What's your name?
My name is Aaron Dinesh, sir.
Okay. Fine. I got it.
I think you can continue, Conrad.
Okay, fine. I'll continue. Okay. The possible format, which I want to share with you. What is the possible format? See, it's the same format when you are wanting to speak to an audience. You take that same format, very simple, and you follow that. Very seldom you will go wrong here. Hey, it's called the H3W formula. H3W. So what does H stand for? H stands for hey. Hey means you've caught the person's attention. You remember I said catchy beginning? So then I titled this article on, are we genuine fakes? So, the person starts wondering, you're a fake. How can you be a genuine fake? It's like an oxymoron. You can't have opposites. You can't have opposites. So I asked the question. So everybody wakes up, says, what is this man talking about? So then I explain. So then you have what? So you explain what you mean by genuine fakes. So in other words, it means, suppose, I pose as being a wine connoisseur. That means, I am an expert on wines. But it is all based on my reading about wines. So I know a lot about wines. But my experience of wine is zero. So I am posing to the public as being a genuine fake. That means, I've got genuine knowledge about wine, but I do not have the experience of wine. But I am posing as an expert in wine. So then you say, why? So, now you're going into the why. What why? So therefore, why do you call us genuine fakes? So now I have to give you examples to substantiate. So we mistake words for experience. So in other words, it means that I understand a tree with the word tree, but I don't experience the tree in terms of a total experience of a tree. But I understand the word tree. Now the word tree is not my experience of the tree. But right through life, what we are doing is we are substituting words for experiences. Just like the wine connoisseur, he is substituting his knowledge about wine for experience of wine. We choose career over calling. So, our career makes us excellent people with knowledge in their domain. So I will be an expert in IT. I will be an expert in, physics. I will be an expert in chemistry, etc. But I will be totally, possibly dissatisfied within because I have not followed my calling. So even though I am getting success, I am really a genuine fake because I am not in touch with my true self. So I'm trying to fit into society by masking myself, by realizing all the perquisites of success, but my true self remains unhappy. So then when? So that means you said what? So you explained. You have given examples to substantiate. Now the audience, the reader is asking, what do you want me to do? So then you say, you need to act now. So we need to regain our spontaneity. So when you look at children, children are genuine. They are not genuine fakes. They are genuine. And what makes the child genuine? His innocence and his spontaneity. So then how do you regain your innocence and spontaneity? So this is a possible format which can be applied to anything, the H3W format. Okay, is this clear? Very simple to follow. It's not complex at all. Then what happens is ultimately, you need to compile all your, you can publish your blog on Medium. So that's what I did. I began by publishing on Medium. Medium is a very good platform, and Medium allows you to upgrade. You can even earn money through Medium if you upgrade. But I didn't go into that. I'm still on the free platform. So, so you publish all your pieces on Medium and then send it to your contacts or your circle of friends. You can send it through WhatsApp, LinkedIn, Meta, Now you check the response you are getting and review the response, okay? Now, when you reach around 50 blog posts, now you think of publishing a book. This is what I did, because 50 blogs or blog posts gives you around 200 pages. And 200 pages is a reasonable size for a book, okay? So that's what I went through and I did. And then I would like to end here by giving you the references in terms of my blog, which I think Nat and Nirmal has shared with you. This is my blog, address, how I wrote my book, first book, that is also there. My book, which is Seeking to Live, I've given you the various URL. If you want to purchase, you could purchase, but otherwise you could read my blog posts on Medium. Okay. So any questions?
Okay. Conrad, can I just?
Yeah, sure, Nat.
Yeah. Yeah, we have about 15 minutes or so. This is their lunch, dinner time, things like that. They also must have worked and then continuing with this session. Okay, thank you so much for sharing, your experience in blogging and all that. And just to before they say anything, I just want to tell you that the reason for blogging is, one is, of course, to start articulating this inner dialogue that we are trying to develop through this program for the first 3 months. But it's also a way of one then reaching out to others, and we then, if they do it systematically, they can publish. As you say, 50 blogs you can actually publish. But beyond that is also an attempt, it's a thing where evaluation of the blogs will be done by a group of people of the progress of the fellows through the journey. So we will be able to, as per the way in which these blogs begin to appear on one side, and we will also have the diary writing. That's a different, not a different, same thing, but writing diary and sharing aspects of the diary, whatever they written in the diary, but blogging for public sharing. So that will also be part of the effort to evaluate. Okay, so that it's a public thing, but which allows a group of people to look at the growth of this Gandhi Mandela Frere Fellows.
That's right.
So one of the things in the blogging I would like to add is they need to know more and more on the Gandhi Mandela Frere. What do these people stand for? As you say, you have to understand the soul of the right of who these people are, they are writing, and what they lived for, and reflect that in the writing that they would do, the reflections or whatever they are doing, that they should reflect that aspect in their blogging, so that we have this idea of the growth of Gandhi Mandela Frere Fellow. What does it mean to be such a fellow? What do you stand for? what you write. So I think that is something which I like to add to what you're sharing in a larger, not that they must always write that, but that is something that can be reflected in some of your writing.
Yeah.
In your H3, in your H3W format.
Yeah. Thanks, Nat. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody? Yeah. Now the others, please, if you have something to share. Conrad is very much part of this program, and he would be available at a given time. He will always be able to come back and help us, and he will, to review your blogging experience. You all have started your blog, but you have not started writing on it yet, except for maybe Ray or one or two others. I suppose now he said that you can do it in what is a medium.com. You want to try that out, you could, but whatever it is, we will streamline, we will get it more organized by end of this month. So by next month we need to see this blogging posts, but Conrad would be available to help guide us through this cost killing process that we are putting into place. Blogging, but it depends on writing, and writing depends on reflection and your inner dialogue, your being authentic. So it's all connected. So I think he will be there to guide us. Yes, Conrad?
Yeah, Nat, sure, thanks.
Yeah, okay. And the other, if you have something to share, maybe 2 or 3 questions, short questions.
Yeah, Ray.
Just a simple question. Sir Conrad, is it okay for me to share my, before I'm trying to start yet my GMF, but then I do actually have a personal blog. Can I share that with you for your kind comments? Wait.
Wait.
Conrad, sorry, can you unmute yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, Sir Conrad, is it okay for you if I were to ask?
Yeah, right. Now you're very clear. Now you're
Okay.
much more clearer.
Okay, great. Is it okay, Sir Conrad, if I were to ask for your feedback in terms of the blogs that I've written already?
Oh yeah, sure. No problem.
Yay, thank you.
My email ID is available with Nirmal. So Nirmal will be able to give you my email ID.
Thank you. I've actually seen also your blog, and your email is also there in Medium,
Yes,
so I will.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir Conrad.
Yes.
Hawkian here.
Yeah.
I'm curious that you were saying that 50 posts, when we had the 50 posts, right? Publish a book. But do we for those posts, does it need to be like relevant to one and each other, or actually it's just a random?
Very good question, How. Very good question. See, let me put it this way. I wrote not according to a plan. I did not write according to a plan. However, listen to me carefully. When I was true to myself, I saw a theme developing right through. So even though my blogs appeared to be at random, once I had finished all of them and I was going to write the book, I saw the theme. And then I put them in the sequence of a theme. So it was not in the sequence of time, which was written first and which was written last. No, it was put in the sequence of the theme, and the theme was seeing. Seeing makes a difference, So you can either blog to a plan, or you can blog as you are called to, and then gradually see how you are developing, So like what Nat said, for the particular course, you may need to read about Gandhi, Mandela, and Frere, reflect, and then write your perspective. But you could also blog on something else. and then you can see the connection with what you have blogged on your own and your blogging pertaining to Gandhi, Mandela, and Fred. And you will see a connection because ultimately it is flowing from you as a person. Have I answered you how?
Yes, yes. So means that just let it flow. Then because that I write true to myself, then
That's
you know.
right. That's right.
Okay.
That is important. That is important. That is important.
Absolutely right. How can that's how you let it flow.
Yeah.
You will never know what will come out.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Not at all. Not at all.
Then you had something written long note to me. Would you like to ask some question?
Who's that? Nat? No, you're on mute. Nat, you're on mute.
Yeah, but I think she's not there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now.
Hello, yes.
Last, you wrote a long note on this this session, anticipating. Is there something you want to ask Mr. Conrad?
Oh, actually, there is a question because so Conrad, you said that you recommend us to read something that we like a topic that we don't really read, or it's either something that we're not really interested in. How do you be motivated to finish the book when you don't really understand what it's trying to say? And so how do you get motivated to finish it?
No, Shens, you're very right. Very good question. See, if you read only what you like, you will tend to get a very linear perspective. Very linear. See, and just now, what is the world longing for? The world is longing for us to listen to one another. The world is longing for us to understand one another. The world is longing for the experience of community. Now, if I am very linear in terms of my perspective and read and think only what I like, I am not giving an opportunity to expand into other people's points of view, into different people's points of view. It requires a lot of, determination, motivation. That's why I told you that one book I read 5 times, So it requires that kind of commitment that, yes, I want to get into the mind of a different field. Because then what happens, Shen, is your creativity improves because you're able to connect between different fields of knowledge. And ultimately, there is unity of knowledge, So all knowledge sources from a common source. So that is what you will realize gradually. But I accept that it requires motivation, it requires commitment, it requires determination. Thank you, Shen.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Conrad.
One more question.
So mine is not a question, but it's to appreciate what Dr. Conrad has said in terms of giving us the formula H3W. Yeah. I appreciate because I also have a certain formula related to this HW, which is the H2W formula.
Pardon? I didn't get you, Eric. What did you say?
Mine is H2W formula.
H2W formula. H2W. Okay.
So,
What is that?
So I put it like that in terms of H, how, which is equal to action.
Okay.
And Y, which is equal to purpose.
Very good. Very good.
And then when, which is duration. So that is how I normally frame my work.
Very good. Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. See, you adopt a formula which you're comfortable with. Huh? I
Yeah.
have given you one, but you have created your own. Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dr. Nath, if you're saying something, can you unmute? Yeah.
Yes. Nirmal, can you come online? I want to take a picture of all of us.
No, unfortunately, because my room in my place where I'm staying, it does not have light. That is why I'm.
It's okay. You come in the darkness.
Yes, I will try. Yeah.
You will try to come out of darkness.
Yeah, I look like now.
Now put on your mobile phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll try my Wi-Fi as well.
Perfect. Now you're looking like one of those ghost films, this comes up suddenly. Yeah, fine. Yeah, Zen, you also have to be out. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much, Conrad. I think this is a continuing story. They are starting to blog, or some of them have started blogging, but the whole idea is also GMF fellow. So there are things that they may have to weave into their blogging.
Right.
Of course, Ray has her own blogging, but as a GMF fellow, how she combines her personal with this the GMF fellowship.
Yeah.
They all have submitted a blog address, but if you want to try what Mr. Conrad has suggested, you may try that medium.com. It may be, and it could be that all of you are in that medium, and it's easier for me to manage also on our website. While we'll do this month a little bit of exploration experiment, by next month it has to become regular. So I would suggest that your diary keeping journaling is one, your personal space, and this blogging. I mean, they don't have to be separate, but they can be connected in many ways. But maintaining a blog on the principles, on the ideas Conrad shared, and Eric has been blogging sometimes, so his own formula. There can be something which you can completely invent yourself. That's the whole idea. You don't have to. These are the principles, so now you can work on the principles and develop your own ideas of blogging. But you have to start blogging, and you have to start journaling, your diary journaling. Yes, Conrad, I'm sorry. I think if you want to say some last words before we close.
No. I just want to say that I thoroughly enjoyed this session, and I appreciate the entire group. They are very bright. They are very involved, and I just wish them the very best. And whatever cooperation they expect from me or want from me, I am willing to give. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Conrad, sir.
Thank you.
We meet tomorrow.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.